Hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar. We're going to talk about Webtoon. So we just got done talking. Ooh, the tomato can squash your opponent to a pulp. I love that tagline. We're going to talk about Webtoon here. We did just get done talking about Tapas the other day. First their deal, and then how they're kind of screwing a creator over with a crazy contract. Well, Webtoon is doing some crazy stuff too. The process of reading about the Tapas stuff, I found this whole tweet thread here by the creator of Lovebot on Webtoon. I don't even know if I have a Webtoon account. I think I've read 2 Webtoon comics ever in my life. So anyway, the creator of this book, strip, whatever you want to call it, has a whole big open letter. It's like, I don't know, 5 pages long or something. There's a lot of interesting stuff in it. I'm going to try to summarize that. If you're interested, you can go look this person up on Twitter and find this yourself. It's not hard. But in their open letter, they make some interesting allegations against Webtoon. The one I'm going to highlight first is this one. Webtoon does not actually promote a great majority of its originals. It's left in the hands of the creator to make and post their own ads, drum of support, new readers, try to drive traffic to the platform. Huh. Also up in this stuff is, hey, they don't give us access to the metrics of how we're performing, essentially sales data, so that the creator knows that they are getting paid what they're supposed to be paid. Apparently there's like a minimum threshold of activity before you can start getting paid. So if you don't cross the minimum revenue threshold, like if you're 1 penny short, you're not getting any of that money ever. Kind of brutal. And communication is bad. Hey, you might remember we talked about this company called Action Lab, which is being sued by its creators for not fulfilling their contractual obligations around promoting the comics that they're selling to people, not providing payments, and not letting people see what their sales data looks like, slash fraudulently, slash potentially giving people misleading sales information. Exactly the same thing with Webtoon. Very shady. As I was going through all these allegations and stuff in that document and reading this Twitter thread, there was some stuff that came to mind. One, the behavior seems really shady. And you're like, well, it's really hard to send people their aggregate statistics and stuff. No, it isn't. It might be hard to have a human being respond to everybody and send them emails, but that's not necessary. It would take a competent DevOps engineer like one afternoon to create you a report dashboard that shows you all the metrics that you, the person making this, cares about. It ain't hard. All that stuff is stored in a database somewhere. You just got to write a SQL query to spit it out. Then you want to create like a web front end or do like a mail merge and send an email with that information to your customers, who are the Webtoon creators in this case. Customer, when I use customer, I don't necessarily mean the person buying something. I mean the person consuming whatever resource we're looking at here. And in this case, it's the person consuming this information. Webtoon's customers are actually their advertisers, because the advertisers are the ones who pay Webtoon money. And then Webtoon has to disperse that money to other people. But that's neither here nor there. If you ever wonder why advertising is so obnoxious on the internet, it's because you, the person viewing the ad, are not the consumer, you're not the customer. It's the advertiser who is, and the advertiser has the final say. Creating a dashboard to let people look at their metrics is not hard. It is trivial. There are platforms out there that will do 95% of the hard work for you. And all you got to do is customize what information goes into that display. The fact that Webtoon does not have that, when they have a website that collects all these stats, I'm not going to say it's criminal, but boy, it's sure negligent. Whether that's intentional or not, I don't know, but that's sure negligent. If you have people out there who consume your data and you don't provide that data, that doesn't make you a very good business partner for those people. Now, I don't know if there's been a big change in how Webtoon works since this stuff came out back in September. What I'm seeing now says Webtoon is not a happy, happy place to go put your comic book, to go put your comic strip, to go put your endlessly scrolling happy fun time. Sure don't look like it. Instead, it looks like unless you're big enough that you can get personal responses from them, because one of the allegations is the whoever's responsible for communication here does not communicate to the creators very often or very well. So, if you're not one of the big people, one of the big wigs, it looks like you're just not going to have responses to your inquiries of, hey, how's my book doing? Hey, what are my stats looking like? You're just not going to get it. That sucks. Are all of these like comic book platforms out there? Are they all this shady? Like, was Keen this bad? Like, I have no idea. But this seems absolutely crazy to me that in a year where we can track how much time somebody mouses over a tweet, I guarantee you Twitter is measuring this right now. In a world where we can measure that, you're telling me that we can't tell somebody how many times somebody clicked on their link to look at their book? Come on. Come on. That's fundamental. That's basic. We were doing that 25 years ago. Like, the year 1997, we had counters on all of our stupid GeoCities pages. And you're telling me some website that probably rakes in revenues of several $1,000,000 a year can't do that? Please. I don't believe you. So the conclusion is Webtoon seems pretty shady as well. And it just makes me wonder, are all these platforms that way? Because that's nuts. Anyway, you all take care of yourselves. You have a great one. Remember to like, comment, survive. Wow. Subscribe. And I hope to see you again next time. But please survive, because if you don't survive, I won't see you next time. Bye-bye.